Bibliophiles of the internet, my name's Adriana, and today I'm here to do the Do I Have That Book challenge. I saw this recently on Lala's channel, Books and Lala, so I will link that down below along with the creator's video, so be sure to take a look at those. This is kind of like the bookshelf scavenger hunt tag, where there's a list of prompts that relate to cover designs, titles, author names, anything you can find on a physical book, and you have to look to see if you have a book that will satisfy that prompt on your shelf. So without any further ado, let's get started. First is a book with deckled edges. My first edition of the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller does in fact have deckled edges. A book with 3 or more people on the cover itself. I knew I had an easy answer for this with The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Alere-Sainz. A book based on another fictional story. In a brilliant queer reimagining of Peter Pan, there's Peter Darling by Austen Chant. A book with a title exactly 10 letters long. I thought I was gonna have to steal Lala's answer of Six of Crows, but then I remembered Wolf by Ryan Groudon. A book title that starts and ends with the same letter. Throwing it way back here with Spells and Sleeping Bags by Sarah Milanowski. A Mass Market Paperback book. I have entire shelves of Mass Market paperbacks, but for this I chose Black Powder War by Naomi Novik. A book written by an author using a pen name. Anything written by Lemony Snicket. I own the entire series of Unfortunate Events. A book with a character's name in the title itself. How about a book with 2 character names in the title itself, which is of course Blanca y Roja by Anna Marie McLemore. A book with 2 maps in it. Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo has an incredible map of the overall world and then another map of Ketterdam itself. A book that was turned into a TV show. American Gods by Neil Gaiman, and I have to say the first season of this show was fantastic. A book written by someone who was originally famous for something else. I never thought I'd have to admit this, but I do own The Amazing Book Is Not on Fire by Dan and Phil, who obviously found fame and success from their respective YouTube channels. A book cover with the image of a clock. I really struggled with this one, just pulling down a bunch of books off the shelf and scrutinizing every detail looking for a clock, but I eventually found an iconic silhouette on Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. A poetry book. I have several poetry books. I read a collection a month and I buy a majority of those collections. For this I chose Even This Page Is White by Vivek Shraya. A book with an award stamp on it. There are so many noteworthy books I could have chosen for this, but I went with The Roundhouse by Louise Erdrich. This won the National Book Award, which is huge. A book written by an author with the same initials as you. I confess I had to sort all of my read and unread books on Goodreads by author name to find this, but I was ecstatic when I realized that Ann Leckie and I actually share the same initials because I freaking love her books. A book of short stories. I have The Best of the Best, Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. A book that's exactly between 500 and 510 pages. As a Tome Topple host, this question thrills me to bits. For this I have The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee, which is exactly 501 pages. A book that was turned into a movie. To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I have watched the Netflix adaptation more times than I would like to admit. A graphic novel or comic. Again, so many to choose from, but for this I'm gonna go with my latest acquisition, Crush by Svetlana Chmakova. And finally, a book written by 2 or more authors. I was convinced that I did not have one of these, but then I found The Fall of Kings by Ellen Kushner and Delia Sherman, which is the 3rd in the Riverside series. So long story short, do I have that book? Yes I do. I would love to know which books you thought of from your collection to satisfy any of these challenges. Let me know in the comments. I will most likely tag some people on social media, but that's everything I had for this challenge today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the flip side of the page. Bye!